Hi everybody, this is Diane. I'm working on the Heidi journals, just barely getting started on them. I did make the covers, so let me show those to you. I have this pretty brown and yellow calico to go with this cover, and if you saw the videos where I was showing you my supplies, this had a puncture in it that you can still feel the bump that's there. It didn't puncture quite all the way through, but almost. So I covered that with that pretty embroidered trim. And I really like the way this turned out. And then there's this one, and I used this pretty vintage polished cotton. It's a bit shiny. That's how I know it's a polished cotton. It's some sort of finish that they put on it, and I love it. And I think it looks really nice with this cover. And I used this pretty vintage trim. I don't know if that's called a picot trim. It's similar to the edging on a picot ribbon though, P-I-C-O-T. And then nope, I didn't put anything on the inside. This is scrapbook paper in here. And this vintage trim. And I like this fabric that has many of the colors that are in this cover, and I had this vintage embroidered trim to put on the edge, and I think it just really sparks the cover. So I've been working on prepping pages for all of these. Oh, I did put paper on the inside here too. So mostly I started cutting papers for this size. The other two I think will be the same size. So I have my papers, and I might have to take some out. There's a lot of papers here, and I made the spines 2 inches. I went ahead and made them and thought I'll just keep the signature small enough that it's not going to pop open with a 2-inch spine. So we'll just see how it goes, if I have to remove some of these pages or not. But I do have some vellum pages and some scrapbook papers and some digital papers that were already printed. Botanical book pages, wrapping paper, stationery, lined papers, and this ledger, and then just this one coloring book page I wanted to include. So I wanted to work on a little bit of ephemera right now with you. I had this wrapping paper, just a small piece of it, and I said that I would like to make some ephemera with those circles. So I cut out 3 of the circles, and I used dies to cut out something to back them with. So this would be a cute journaling card. I could put a hole in it and some string and stick it in a pocket. That would be cute. I could use it as a tuck spot. And also I cut one of these shapes. Thought that would be a cute journaling card also. So I haven't decided. I mean, I have enough. I can do one of each for each journal. So I'll cut some more of those. I'm just going to go ahead and glue them since we're talking about it. And I think I decided, whoops, tipped my books over. Decided I'm going to do one of the scallops and one of these shapes in each journal. I might as well just glue what I have down. So let's see. I want to make sure I have a boy and a girl for each journal. I've got 2 boys here and 1 girl. This is the same little girl with the sheep. I'm not finding goats, but I'm finding sheep. And I also want to talk to you about the Hans in Switzerland, whatever that book is called. Hans of the Swiss Alps. I want to talk to you about that. I was so excited to use those pages, but they are very, very brittle, and I'll show you in a minute. I only cut one of these just to see how this size circle fit on it, and it does very well. So I think I'll do 3 of these in green and 3 of these in yellow with the girls, and the boys will be on that. That way I will not get mixed up, and I'll make sure I put 1 yellow scallop and 1 green top note in each journal. That means they'll both have a boy and a girl. I know my brain, and I mess things like that up all the time. Yeah, so I'll have to cut some more shapes, but let's go ahead and make these into a little tag with some, what's it called? Baker's twine. I've got black. Pink and red don't really go with these journals. I've got yellow. These are the ones I just got at Hobby Lobby. I guess that's all. Black and yellow. Wish I had a green. I was thinking I had a green. But I guess not. Okay. I think maybe I'd like to put an eyelet in there. Put the eyelet in and put this on it, flip it over, put the washer on, and this holds everything in the right position. There's a hole in there. And then pound it. I use metal underneath it. My husband gave this to me a long time ago, and it keeps me from pounding dents or holes into my surfaces. There, it's a nice finished edge. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one while we're at it. I don't know if I think I'll make this a tuck spot. But maybe I'll decide to go ahead and make a journal card with that too, in which case I could add a grommet and some string to that also. But for now, I think I'll just add some black Baker's twine here. I'll do that twine later. Let's move on. I found the library pocket for the Hans of the Swiss Alps book, so that can go in one of these journals. So these papers, I cut these to the right size, and I folded this one, and it immediately cracked. I mean, it's done. So I tried reinforcing it with paper, and I didn't think it would work because sometimes if the paper is too fragile, it will bend against the edge of this reinforcement and crack there, and that's what it wants to do. So I am not going to be able to use these as a page. Instead, I'm going to try to make a tag out of them. I hope I wasn't talking too loud. My furnace just shut off, and all of a sudden I felt like I was loud. And the door is closed to the furnace room. But anyway, this is a tag that I cut out of Anna Griffin paper a long time ago, and I probably have more of that paper if I wanted to use it, but I thought this would make a good tag. And I don't know if I want to use the like more neutral, like these are in between black and white and sepia. I don't really know what you call that. I think sepia is a little more reddish, has a little more red tone, and this isn't quite black and white, but whatever that is, it's neutral, and this is neutral. So I don't know if I want to do that, keep a neutral theme, or put something colorful behind the neutral pictures. Let's just try a little of both. And I'm going to glue her. Maybe something smaller to let some of those flowers show more. I'll try cutting these children out and see how they look on it. Oh, see, my scissors just tore it. I can cut this out. We are going to the summer pasture. I'll just leave off Hans's name because Hans isn't in the Heidi books. Okay, so I think that looks good with the neutral colors, and I can put the words on something colored, but I like it like this. I will use this light green, I think. And I'm going to do it one word at a time because I like the way that looks the best, and I know it's tedious, so I will edit this part out. Okay, I have them glued on now, and I want to stamp something on the back. So I don't know what I will stamp, but I don't know if I want it to be in the corners or just something at the top. I had a particular stamp in mind for stamping at the top, but is this it? Nope, it's a corner. I think these are all corners, but I couldn't find the one I wanted for the top. These are little, they're a little too wide for up here. I think this is what I was looking for. These are old stamps. I've used them a lot. I'm gonna not put it right at the top because I'm not sure if I'm gonna punch a hole in it or sew some lace or something at the top. I'll probably do lace. So I'll just move it down a little bit. And I think it's centered, but I pressed harder here. With acrylic stamps, it's a softer material than the hard rubber. So if you push on it, it expands the material and widens the ink, but that's okay. I like it. And maybe I'll sew around that tag. Let's see. I have some other tags to use. This was the only one I had cut with the Anna Griffin paper, so I'll probably look for some more Anna Griffin paper to see if I have any more. But maybe I will just, I wish that I hadn't glued this paper over this because I covered part of her and there's a boy here. And that would have been nice on a tag, maybe, if it would fit. So I'm just going to look for something that will fit onto the tag and glue the whole image down instead of cutting around it. Like glue the tag to the back of the image and cut. That could be Heidi and Clara and Peter. So I'm going to cut right down here so I'll know where to glue the tag. Oh, that makes a nice tag. I like that one. I'm trying to see if there are more words I want to cut out and use. So I have 3 of the sepia tags and 1 of those so far with the sepia image, but we will have colorful things in the journals too, I promise. I have a list here. I was making a list one evening of things I would like to include. Here it is. Wonder if there's something I can make real quick here. Hanky pockets. Where are the hankies? I know the pages, or the sizes of each page now, so I'll be able to make pockets in the right sizes to fit on those pages. This book, the pages are 5¼ inches wide. The largest pages, like these. Yep, about 5¼ So I'll probably make a handkerchief pocket for one of these pages. This looks like it could be Edelweiss, but it's on a vine. I don't know anything about Edelweiss except it's small and white. It's part of the song. And I think the petals are shaped like that. I don't know how many petals it has, and I don't think it grows on a vine, but I think that looks pretty on this paper. But do I want to put it on like that or back it with cardstock? I think I would like to back it with cardstock. Let's see how this looks. I think that looks good. So right along where this fold is, I can cut it. Now, if you're familiar with The Sound of Music, that is set in the Austrian Alps, but I'm assuming that Austria and Switzerland would have the same types of flowers on their mountains, and they sing the song about Edelweiss. Is that their national flower in Austria? I don't know. But it's a lovely song about Edelweiss. Got that kind of crooked. It still wants to run uphill over here. I don't want to keep cutting off more. I will sew this on. I don't even think I want to put glue behind it because it's so sheer and the glue would show through. So I'll just cut the cardstock to the size I want. And then I'll sew around it, but not right now. And then maybe I'll trim without cutting the handkerchief. So there's that one. And I don't know how many. I could do one for each signature probably, because I'm only taking one corner of a handkerchief. So this time I'm going to cut the cardstock to the right size. And then I can sew the handkerchief on it and then trim around it. I think that would be easier. Okay, maybe I'll do white for this. And I'll be able to trim that off and then put some trim or lace across the top. So I could go on this one or this one. I like it on that one. Okay, I have 3 handkerchief pockets ready to put together and decorate with lace or trim or whatever for journal number 1. I have some tags started. Today is Friday, so it's the day after I recorded the other part of this video. I'm hoping to be able to connect this video to that one. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but anyway, I wanted to show you that I finished this tag and added some vintage trim and a modern trim on it. And I think did I already show you we are going to the summer pasture glued on there? I don't remember if I did. And I sewed just around the edge. I already stamped that. So that tag is done. And I cut out the other pieces I needed to create these tags. I just have to add the baker's twine to 2 of them. And then these, that'll probably be tuck spots. I just basically just cut out the shapes and glued the pieces on. So then I did these on the video, and I thought I should have embellished them. I didn't want to leave them just plain, but I didn't even talk about that. So that's what I want to do right now, and hopefully attach it to the video. I don't know how to insert things into the middle of the video. I only know how to tack it on the end. So I think there's stuff at the end I'm going to cut off and then just stick this on. I think that's how I can do it. So I think they need a spot of red. And maybe a bit of fabric. could have left it longer and just put it that way. I wasn't thinking about that. And now a flower. I don't think I'll use the leaves. I think I want a smaller flower for up there. Yeah, that one works. Then I just have to glue them down. Oh, let me try a butterfly. It's kind of big. Yeah, I'll use that somewhere else, maybe in the journal. And that adds enough color to these neutral looking tags. I'll just glue them on and I will add some seam binding or something. This is reinforced on the back because it was a purchase tag. So it's also reinforced on the front, but that part's just hidden. So there's that tag. All right, these are the finished tags. And I did add one of the little laundry label pieces on. It's just a nice little accent. So these are fun. I like them. And I did find some more of my Anna Griffin. This is very thick cardstock. It's a thick paper. So I had made this with that. And so I'll maybe use these to make more tags. And I just want to show you the pockets that I made. And maybe we'll put these, maybe we'll collate the pages. So I had this brown on brown cardstock, and I needed to brighten that up. So I'm putting this on there, and I'll probably put a trim across the top. So that one's not finished. And this one I thought was real pretty. I don't need to add a lace to that. And this one I'll probably put a lace across the top also. But they are sewn to cardstock, and as I said, I did not want to glue the fabric piece down. These are handkerchiefs, and they were very thin. These two were. This one wasn't as thin, but I didn't glue it down. I sewed around them, and then of course all this fabric in the middle is loose. It's not glued down. So you can see on the back, I just did a round and round and round stitch, and it holds the fabric down. On this one, I sewed on those seams. And on this one, I did straight lines or semi-straight lines. And if I have time, I'm going to leave this part in the video. I will collate my pages. So I have my tracing papers. There should be another one. I'll come across it. My pattern papers. I want the ones with the pocket to be not on the front page, I think. I'm not sure. I'll decide that later, but I'll put it not on the front page. So, and I might change my mind. So there's that one. Here's the blue one. And the brown, whoops. And the brown one. So when I collate them, I guess they're going to be on the front page. I put it in the front. This, I'm only doing one of these, so that's going to be in the center of the middle signature. I've got some lined papers. And these are the neutral colors to go with this journal. I hope that this brightened up the front, and I will definitely not let it be a dull journal. Some botanical pages, botanical digitals, wrapping paper, there's the other vellum piece, and more digitals. Okay, so I always like to start, almost always like to start with a patterned piece on the front. This is double-sided, that makes it nice. Oh, I need to trim those papers. This book is narrower than the golden books. Put a piece of stationery in there. I think I have one too many botanical pages. Let's put the vellum here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's going to be 11 pages in here. There's wrapping paper. Oh, I better put some lined papers in because we have 2 to go in each thing. Oh, I already did. Yep. I don't know what I'm doing. I already put one of those in. So, oh, I need one of these. And I think that's everything. I did the botanical page, right? I still have 3 there, but I think I had an extra one. Nope, I didn't do a botanical page. Okay, so I'll put a botanical page in here. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, I thought there were 11 pages per signature. So there's that. Now I'll do the same thing. I'll have to copy this one. Piece of stationery, vellum, wrapping paper, botanical, lined, digital, and scrapbook paper. And then I'll just put all the rest of these in that same order. So I've got some chopping and patching to do on this video. I had to stop while I was making the tags, gluing the tags, because my mother called. So, but I was going to chop that part out anyway. So I have 3 pieces I'm going to have to put together. So I will see you in the next video. Hopefully we'll be doing some decorating in this journal and in these journals, and I'll see you then. Have a creative day. Bye.